father served in the Australian Army, the First World War, and served in France. And the 11th Battalion, he served in France. And during the war in 1916, my father was wounded in action. 15th of April 1970, First World War in France. My father, who was Ernest Johnson, was wounded in action while serving in the 11th Battalion in the Australian Army. A bullet pierced his third finger on his right hand. The bullet continued on to this diary which he had in his left pocket, just over his left hand. And the bullet continued on, well, there's the hole where the bullet went. And it finished up another book that he had in his left pocket. It hit something hard in this wallet which he had. These books saved his life. In the war, I joined the army in June 1942. I was almost immediately posted to New Guinea, which was very active, but the Japanese forces had come right down through the islands in the Pacific. At the same time that the battle was going on at Kokoda, the Australian Army managed to hold up the Japanese advance, so the Japanese Army decided to find somewhere else to try and make their advance across New Guinea at Milne Bay. I happened to be serving there at the time, at Milne Bay, and the Australian Army, supported by some American Army, managed to stop the advance of the Japanese advances in Milne Bay, and they were completely defeated, and a few survivors managed to get out of New Guinea, and that was recognised as the first land defeat of the Japanese forces in the Second World War. I was in the administration unit of a signals unit, so we lived reasonably well. One thing I mentioned about in New Guinea, particularly in Milne Bay, was there's always mud, always raining, and there's always malaria giving you. A lot of people suffered from malaria. A lot of the members of our unit at one stage, our particular unit was down to less than half, not from enemy action, but from malaria and tropical diseases up in New Guinea back in those days, during the Second World War. I'm pretty sure I'm the only survivor of our unit, which when it left Western Australia back in 1942 was about 250 strong, the signals unit. I'm fairly sure I'm the only survivor. So I'm lucky.